Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is John Unell, aka John I Fly, from Schuylkill Haven, Pennsylvania. Yes, surprise, surprise, believe it or not, I'm doing this while it's still light out. Although I still have my light on to highlight the features, I guess, so I don't look like I'm in the dark. So anyway, I hope it is, by the way, Tuesday, the 8th of February, and when you're retired, you lose track of time. At least I do, anyway. But I hope everybody's having a great day today. I wanted to get this out last Friday or Saturday, and it didn't work out. But anyway, it is Tuesday, the 8th of February. If I said January, I didn't mean that. I meant February. Don't want to go backwards. But anyway, it's refreshing. Why do I say that? It's refreshing because the other day I heard the former Vice President Mike Pence say words that I never dreamed I would hear him say, because he's been so quiet for how long. He mentioned that he heard the previous week that Donald Trump was saying that, Mike Pence had the power to overturn the elections. All he had to do was send those back to the states and let them decide. It doesn't work that way, Donald Trump. And I'm glad at least Mike Pence, even though I don't like his policies, and I very anti-gay, by the way, I still credit him for having decency and integrity. And he came right out and said, President, and I say ex-president, is wrong. It's as simple as that. He's wrong. He doesn't know shit about the Constitution. But at least the former vice president did. He said Trump was wrong in saying he had the authority to overturn the election. And I like one thing what he said right out. He said, this election, it's not controlled by one person. It's not controlled by the president or by any one person. It's the people. The people of the United States have the final say on who the president is. And they voted, and they did have the final say. Despite Donald Trump sitting there crying like a little kid, oh, there's corruption, they rigged the election. May I suggest that the one who has really big corruption problems is Donald Trump. I mean, you don't have to be a scientist to figure that out. We had to put up with him for over 4 years. 4 years. The worst president we've ever had in the history of the United States. And I say that with no hesitation. I mean, we've had other presidents that maybe didn't come up to the job qualifications that they should have, or maybe they didn't do what we wanted them to do, but they were still half decent. Not this bozo that we had in the White House. Donald Trump, he's an orange, I like to call him, my one friend calls him an orange anus, and it's the truth, that's what he is. So, my only beef with Mike Pence is he should have did it when Trump was still in office yet. I mean, I'm sure he had the opportunity many times to say something, and he didn't. I don't know what their private conversation was, but maybe Mike Pence told Trump about it. I don't see how Trump could fire the vice president. Now, he came along with the ticket, of course, but maybe Mike Pence felt like, well, he had to work with the guy till the term was over, but I have a sneaky suspicion that toward the end of the term, it might have got a little dicey, you know? And like I said, you may not agree with everything Mike Pence stands for or believes, but at least he followed the Constitution, which is more than I could say with Donald Trump. Donald Trump doesn't know his ass from a hole in the ground when it comes to the Constitution. All he's worrying about is, look at me, look at me. Oh, I'm so great. Man, yeah, he'd get into this country as president and, oh, I'll bring the jobs back and I'll do this and I'll do that. And he was full of shit, he didn't. I think that one car company out in Ohio, if I'm not mistaken, I think they rescinded on that deal or something. I don't have the details offhand, but I know they were supposed to provide how many jobs in Ohio, and I think that fell through. And of course, Donald Trump, I think he threatened the company and everything, but hey, company has to be able to make a profit too. You know, we don't get companies in here just for the sake of, well, we're going to do everything the president wants us to do. It doesn't work that way. There's a lot involved in having a business. I know I had that in the early 2000s. I had to try to start up a knitting mill. It's a lot of work, trust me. Well, anyway, what else happened? I like to rub this into Donnie's face too, and all the right-wing extremist Republican Party members. Joe Biden did something that Donald Trump never did when he was in office. He tried, Donald Trump tried, he didn't know what the hell he was doing. As I mentioned before about the car company, that fell through. But Joe Biden had a historic event. January jobs report was better than they expected. Everybody was saying, oh, it's going to be really low, and they were expecting a pretty big dip. But guess what? It was better, a lot better than expected. The figures were 467,000 jobs were added last month. That's just 1 month. For the year, and this is according to the president, the current president, he said we had 6.6 million jobs created in the first year of the term of Joe Biden. Now that's a hell of a lot. Did Trump have that? No. He didn't do shit. I'm telling you, he didn't. The only thing I remember him doing is trying to strip people of their rights. He wanted to ban the Muslims from coming into this country. Boy, that really helps. Oh, and building a wall, which, by the way, was never finished. It's a joke because people can go around the wall. You know, what did he do? Trump only caused chaos and confusion. That's it. That's all he's known for. And then he wants to run again in 2024? I don't think so. I mean, already there's dissension in the ranks already with what he's been saying and stuff. But that's another session. That's another rant. But with this 467,000 jobs that were added, we're also dealing with inflation. I mean, they're freeing up the supply chain, but still, if you've gone to the store recently, the prices are going up. But right away, the Republicans, and I talked to somebody, I think it was my cousin, which I'm not surprised, and he's saying, oh, I'd rather have Trump any day, and get something for gas compared to this bozo we have in the office now. Well, he doesn't know what he's talking about, my cousin. He doesn't. And for this inflation it's not caused by Joe Biden. Not by a lot. There's a lot it's a worldwide thing that we're dealing with. The supply chain is held back, it's not the president's fault to do that. Not one. So what it indicates is that our economy is red hot. It really is. I never once heard that with Donald Trump. I think, if anything, the economy stagnated. So, but the thing is, when you have a red hot economy, you have the risk of inflation. That's what we're going through right now. So the Feds is most likely going to raise the interest rates to kind of temper the demand a little bit. But yeah, there's no doubt about the prices are going up for gas and stuff. I see they're going up again. But you can't blame the president for that. I mean, think about it. Our current president, despite the pandemic, he's doing the best he can. And I just heard today that there's some deal, I believe it's in Tennessee, about a manufacturing plant that's going to manufacture chargers for the electric cars that are coming out. I already saw that when I had a flight down to San Antonio, Texas back in November. But when I came back, I never took notice of it when going down. I wanted to get down to my terminal to get my flight, but I noticed they have chargers already at the Allentown Bethlehem Eastern Airport. It's known today as the Lehigh Valley International Airport, but they're still using the ABE, Allentown Bethlehem Eastern Airport. But they have chargers there already for electric cars, so that's going to be a hot item, I think. President Biden had some good words to say about it. He had, I think it was a press conference, or he announced it today. And besides not only that, it's going to create jobs, but it's also going to make our environment a little cleaner. And hell yeah, go for it, Mr. President. We need that in this day and age. Also, we've been dealing with Russia. Will Russia invade Ukraine? Well, we don't know yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do. They'd be stupid if they do, because they're only going to cut their own throats. And as the president said, he said if that happens, they have some sort of a deal arranged. I forget what they name it now. But I think it's a pipeline that would go directly from Russia and bypass Ukraine and go to Germany. Well, that's a touchy subject because the president had the German chancellor over here, or the German president, whatever his title is. I think he's chancellor. But anyway, he came right out and said it. The German chancellor didn't really, he tried to avoid the issue because it would affect him, I'm sure. I'm not sure how they would work that out. But anyway, the President Biden said right off, if he invades, if he puts soldiers over the border, tanks, whatever, the deal is off with that old pipeline. And good for him. He's standing up to Russia, unlike Donald Trump, who kissed Putin's ass. That's all he did. He looked at Putin, I guess, and also President Ping in China as role models. Well, we don't need an autocratic system of government. No way. So anyway, and by the way, and this just came over the TV. The second gentleman, Kamala Harris's husband, was speaking at a public school, high school, in the Washington, D.C. area, and there was somebody who phoned in a bomb threat. So they had, the Secret Service agents had to whisk him out of the school along with evacuating everybody else in the building. So it's still an ongoing story yet, but anyway, it's always something. We never had, when Trump was in office, they didn't braid him and threaten his life. But when a guy who's decent our current president, who's doing the best for our country, has the best interests of our country in mind. He's doing what he can do, and he gets harassed, and his vice president's husband gets harassed. I don't know. I'll tell you what. I don't know what's going to happen with our country. Every day it's something new, huh? Well, anyway, this is it for now. I'm going to go out and take my walk. It's a beautiful sunny day, and a little warmer today than what it was. I hope everybody has a great day, and maybe I'll get on Blue Dot in Texas tonight on the show. We'll see. And anyway, thank you very much for taking the time to listen to me. Remember, you can find me on YouTube as John I Fly, and that's all in small letters, small case, JOHNI, F as in Frank, L as in love, Y. On Facebook, you can find me under my real name, John, R-U-Nell, it's U-N-E-L-L. And I'd love to hear from you. Feel free to comment, subscribe. That would be great, man. I'd love to have more people subscribe. And I try to get on and do these rants when I can as time permits. But I appreciate everybody taking the time to listen. I appreciate all my fellow Blue Dot brothers and sisters out there. We got to stick together, people. We have an upcoming election this year. And my goodness, we got to do all we can, because the Republicans are doing all they can to stop people from voting. Okay, listen, take care, and hopefully toward the end of the week I can have more that we can talk about. Have a good night, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.